Hi, Brian Stecker here from Boomer Fitness, and today I want to talk about, is it possible for muscle growth for men and women over 50 regarding your nutrition and your fitness level. But before we hop into the video today, make sure that you give this video a like and make sure you subscribe to the video by clicking that little red button and then clicking the gray bell right next to it so you can get updated with all the great content that I make specifically for you. Who am I? I'm Brian Stecker. I've been a personal trainer for the past 16 years. Hard to believe. And also I have a gym here in Vancouver, Washington, where we've trained baby boomers over the last 9 years. I have a meeting with my clients over the age of 50, and I ask them what their goals are. They're going to talk to me, and they usually say, hey, when I talk to women, they usually say, I want to tone up. And when I talk to men, they say they want to build muscle. And I have plenty of clients, and there's some on the wall behind me that are over that age that I've helped navigate, achieve that goal. And I want to give you the best strategies that are going to help you gain that muscle. All right. So what most people do when I say, hey, what have you tried? Most people say, hey, I signed up at, Planet Fitness, or I signed up at this other gym, and they go there and they don't have a plan. Okay. So they aimlessly go around the gym, or they're spending way too much time doing cardiovascular training, which is not even related to that fitness goal. So number one, when it comes to your nutrition and gaining muscle over and weight training over the age of 50, you got to remember that it's not a number that's associated to it. So how you build muscle is you've got to have two factors. You've got to have nutrition and you've got to have training. So training, you've got to stimulate the muscle outside its normal condition, and then you got to give it the proper nutrients, and that proper nutrients would be protein, and then you give it some rest and recovery, and that's how you start to do that. Let's talk specifically how you're going to approach that. The first thing you want to have is you want to have a plan. You want to have a plan of how that you're going to attack this goal. The plan that seems to work best for a lot of my clients when just starting out is a total body routine. And that total body routine, you could go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, giving you some time in between. And then I would do, one muscle group per body part in that plan. And then I would work in that 3 to 4 set range, 8 reps, and some sets upwards to 20 repetitions. Okay. I would start off there. Just a simple plan. Total body routine, right? The other plan that works extremely well for a lot of clients is that, you got your push, your pull, and your legs, right? So Monday you do your push, Tuesday you do your pull, third day you do your legs, take a day off, and then repeat that cycle and just stay consistent with that over and over. Now you're going to go do the workout, all right? So when you're doing that workout, you want to be able to get the results. So when I watch a lot of people in the gym, they're not using that mind-body connection. And the challenge is they just grab some weights and they're swinging the weights all over the place. They have no control with the weight, and they're not even challenging themselves. So mostly for my female clients, they think they're going to get big and bulky. You're not going to get big and bulky. In order for you to get big and bulky, you have to train for a long period of time, have the genetics for it, and then also for women would be using hormones that don't support womanly things. So for most, and then plus you got to remember, muscle's so dense it's going to be spread over your body. You're just going to keep your womanly figure, and you're just going to be more shaped. Okay. For men, usually it's ego lifting, so there's really no control with this. So the first thing you want to focus on is your tempo, the control at which you're lifting these weights. An example of that would be like lowering that at a count of 4, holding for a count of 1, and then holding at the top for 1, and then repeating that through your 8 to 20 repetitions. It's going to keep tension on the muscle. Okay. The next thing you want to look at is your intensity. So on a scale of 1 to 10, and you're working those 8 to 12 rep range, you want to feel like it's a 7 or an 8. Okay. So for, an example for that would be, so say you picked a weight and you did it and your goal was 8 to 12. You don't want to pick a weight where you could have did 15, or you don't want to pick a weight so heavy that you could only have done 6. you want to be failing right in that rep range, okay? So what it means failing is that either you're just not able to complete another repetition. So you're doing the reps, you're like, you squeeze out that last one, probably a good thing, rack the weight and go from there. What kind of exercises would I pick? Again, when, just being a trainer, like whatever job you do, you're probably looking around and you watch other people like, man, I wouldn't do that. So when I step at the gym, it just built into me. I just see people working out and, they're doing dumbbell arm curls like this. You can't see my arm, but they're just bent over doing arm curls like that. Or they're doing like some lateral raises, and those are the exercises that they're starting off with. Those aren't the most effective lifts that are going to help you build muscle. I would choose compound lifts, all right? So you want to think of the big movements because they're multi-joint and they work multiple muscle groups, okay? So you want to look at the squat, you want to look at the deadlift, shoulder press, bench press, some lunges. So those were pull-ups. Those are places where I would start. Now, working with clients over the age of 50, yes, you've got some special considerations, okay? Maybe you don't have that range of motion, so it's tough on the knees. So I would work my way backwards. If I could do the compound lifts, I would start there. If you're somebody who, and I've seen this in the comment section and I want to address it, is that say you're somebody who is having the lack of range of motion, they can't do squats or they can't do deadlifts. What I would work on doing is one, strengthening your core, or the next thing that I would work on is working on developing that range of motion. So there are ways to get your range of motion worked. You get a foam roller, find the areas that you have abrasions built up on, roll those areas up, and then work on that mobility. What I see a lot of my clients when they start doing resistance training, their flexibility begins to increase over time. Yes, you're gonna start off achy, you're gonna start out stiff, but my clients, they tell me when they get around that week 8 point to week 10 point, they're like, man, my flexibility is way better, okay? So you're not gonna gain that right away. So just start out with the compound lifts that you can do with a good warm up, and the ones that you can't do, what I would do is get evaluation on form through coaching. The next thing that I would work on is I'd work on developing the range of motion and doing the exercises that I could do. All right. If those are too troublesome in the beginning, where I would start, where most people start if they haven't trained for over 6 months or more, is I would focus on those compound movements, but I would do them body weight exercises only, unloaded. If you can't move your body, you shouldn't go on a machine, you shouldn't load it. So start off with body weight squats, start off with push-ups, start with single leg RDL, start with your step-ups, start with lunge variation, okay, a TRX row. All those would be good places for you to start. Now the next point, mentally, I want you to plug this in your mind. You just plug it in right now. All right, when you go to the gym, you're not gonna see any results. You're not gonna see much muscle gain. The second day you go to the gym, you're probably not gonna see any results. The second week, you're probably not gonna see any, third week, and so on. So what you want to do is just put it in your head right now, write on a piece of paper, hang it up if you have to. Remember why you're starting this journey, but also remember you got to be consistent. You're not going to start seeing any physical changes for about 6 to 8 weeks. But right around that 6 to 8 week point, you will start to see some physical changes, which leads me into my next point. My last point is you've got to do some kind of measurements. So what I would do is I would measure, and there's simple things that you can do to measure. So I would get a log. I would log my reps, my weight, so that way every workout I can try to get a little better. And that way when I reflect on my week and I look back on my week, I can say, wow, I completed those 4 workouts. And then the next week you can compare. You see yourself getting better. And the reason why I bring that up is sometimes, get to week 6 or 8, you're going to have days where you don't feel like training. Not everybody feels like training all the time. So what you're going to do on those days is just do the best that you can. You show up, and what you'll notice is you're going to get 1% better, right? Or the next workout, you get 3% better. You did a little bit more weight. All that stacks up. So in the course of a month, you work out, get all those workouts in, you're not 30% better because, it's 1, plus 1 is 2, and then it starts to multiply. It becomes exponential. All right, your results will become exponential. That's why I say that consistency is so important. So I would measure through a log. And if you coach with me, we use a log, we use a training app, and that is going to be able to measure your progress that you're making. The next thing you want to do is you want to do measurements. So you want to have an in-body scanner. We've got one here. But what that'll do is tell you how much muscle mass you have, how much body fat mass that you have. And that way, every week when you do that, you can see that you're gaining muscle or burning fat, and you can make some adjustments to your nutrition, which you want to make sure you're getting proper nutrients so your body has the raw materials to build that muscle. I would take pictures. Every 6 to 8 weeks. You can do them every week. You can just kind of flip through, and usually you'll see the biggest change every 6 to 8 weeks, okay? Next thing, do some circumference measurements, and then for body fat testing, you can get an in-home scale if you don't have an in-body or a gym around you that does have an in-body, or you can get an Omron tester. Now, the accuracy might not be 100% with those, but what you're looking for over time is the validity of it, is that will it hold up over time. So if you're doing the measurement with the same tool at the same time every week, what you're going to start seeing is consistent measurements, and that's going to give you your feedback that you're gaining muscle. All right, and then remember, for nutrition, you want to get anywhere from 0.7 to 1 gram per body weight for your weight in protein, and you want that from a complete source. And there's plenty of meat sources, and there's plenty of plant-based sources that can help you achieve that goal. All right, and easy way to track that is an app called MyFitnessPal that our clients use. And then you just log how much you eat, the portion, and at the end of the day you can see how close you're hitting those targets. All right, that was the video for today. If you like this video, again, hit a like, give it a share. Let me know which tip was best for you. We also have a coaching program. We have a few spots open with that, where you and I will work together one-on-one. Just down below, click on the link. It's my scheduling link. I'll find out what your goals are, what your biggest struggles are, and we can see if this is a good fit for us to work together. Most time when I get on the phone with somebody, they're ready to take action and start working on those goals. All right, guys, have a blessed day. It was great sharing with you. Now go build some muscle.